Hi, Aries. My name is Audrey Alison, and this is your January 2015 forecast for the month. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for supporting me and for joining me in this forecast. I appreciate it. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Let's get into it because your 11th house of friendships and social connections is lit up this month. It's pretty magnificent what's happening there with the personal planets as well as the sun and the new moon. On the 3rd of January, Venus is entering Aquarius. Aquarius for you is your 11th house of friendships and social connections. It's also, groups and clubs and organizations that you belong to. It's also goals and your wishes. The 11th house is a really magical house for what have you yearned for? What are your goals and wishes and desires? Venus, the planet of love and money, entering that sector is beautifying your relationships with the friends that already exist, but she's also matching you up with the people you're supposed to be in contact with. I find that for those of you maybe realigning yourself with new people, Venus, before her second transit of the month, which happens at the end of January, she's bringing in some really beautiful, inspirational people to your life path. And also you could find that you have a really great energy in these social clubs. And the 11th house could be anything from a poker club to, board meeting kind of club. It's just a vast scope. But Venus in the 11th is really loving the energy that you get from your friends and the connections that you have with people. Following her on the 4th is Mercury. They've been connected the whole year behind each other. Mercury is biting Venus's rhyme. He's right behind her. And he's also entering Aquarius in this 11th house of friendships. Mercury in the 11th, you're going to be hearing from a lot of friends that you have, but also people that you have not heard from in a while. And you can mark my words, you're going to get some kind of email or contact from someone that you haven't heard from in quite a long time. Possibly an old roommate, old friend, someone who you maybe fell out with. Because Mercury's bringing news. You're going to hear some things about people who you currently know, but also there's a retrograde in this 11th house. And with a retrograde, always brings in the past. And particularly in the 11th, these are past friendships, past connections, old bosses, co-workers, things like that. Mercury and Venus will be conjunct in the 11th, working together to really align you with the appropriate connections in life to go forward into this new year. And since it is the new year and people are making resolutions, I would set your resolutions on your goals in the 11th and your connections with people because you have a tremendous amount of support. Also on the same day Mercury moves into the 11th, we have our full moon at 14 degrees Cancer. This is huge because it's the 4th house of home. And having a full moon be in the home sector, there's a really deep intuitive need for you to be closer to your foundation or actually where you come from. And home could be the actual environment, the literal home, but it's a soul kind of connection. The 4th house is the deepest house on the solar astrological wheel, and it's internal as well as, literally the 4 walls that you reside in. But with having a full moon there, it's so intuitive. Your intuition is really deep and strong in the 4th. You could be inspired or receive premonitions or dreams about the place you were born or where you grew up. Ironically, I'm sending this webcast, I'm recording this in the place I grew up and where I was born in New Jersey. And you can't see it now, but in the earlier forecast, there's these beautiful woods behind me. And that is what I feel like my roots are. That's my deep soul cores is where I'm sitting right now. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening to Aries throughout the month of January. You want to get back to your roots is what I'm hearing. So if you've lost touch or connection with someone, because the 4th house and the 11th house, they're not similar, but if you define them together, connections from the deep roots, from where you come from, connections from the past, you're going to be hearing a lot from people this month, Aries. Now, on the 12th, Mars enters Pisces. Pisces for you is your 12th house, and I love this placement because Mars is stimulating your psychic ability and your quiet time. 12th house is very quiet. And to have Mars here, he's giving you energy in your spiritual sector. So you could really be wanting to learn something either metaphysical or in one of the paranormal realms. You could be fascinated with that in the 12th. It's a very quiet energy. And Mars is also passion. And the 12th house is music, ruled by Neptune on the solar wheel, where Pisces is stationed. So Mars could, for those of you artists or musicians or writers, there's a vast scope of how music could apply here, composers to performers. But Mars is inspirational, giving you passion in this 12th. You could really come up with some beautiful pieces at this time. He's there for 60 days. So take advantage of that in the 12th house. The sun, as well as the new moon on the 20th, are entering Aquarius in this 11th house again, conjunct Venus and Mercury. The new moon at 0 degrees on the 11th in Aquarius is new contacts, okay? New contacts and friendships that are starting for you. But then Mercury retrogrades the next day on the 21st at 17 degrees Aquarius until the 11th of February in the 11th house, which brings in the old friendships. So you've got a double whammy. You've got new people coming in on the 20th. You're hearing from the past on the 21st. You're hearing from a lot of connections that you've made throughout your life, throughout your whole deep-seated roots. There's something deep going on with you, Aries, because the 4th and the 12th house are two of the most quiet houses in addition to the 8th house. But there's a very deep internal feeling I'm getting for Aries that you're meeting people who might remind you of people from the past. You're processing things that you might have had to get over from conditions of your childhood. Healing from abuse, healing from leaving your home, family, or your relatives and being out on your own. Maybe you're healing from the loss of a parent or the abuse of something when you were younger. And I'm just getting that intuitively, but the 12th house is a healing type of house as well. Now, joining Mars in the 12th on the 27th is Venus. So she'll be conjunct Mars, the balance of masculine and feminine energy in the 12th house. You're going to be dreaming, I think, a lot around the end of January. Your intuition is very heightened with Venus there, and she could be giving you a lot of smoothing over and healing in the dreams, recuperative rest and healing when the subconscious mind is asleep is what I'm getting with Venus in the 12th. Let me pull some of your cards for you. I might pull a lot of social connection cards with the 11th house, but I also might get some psychic cards, the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups with the 12th house. Also the home. We'll see what happens. I'll just shuffle. But if you'd like a reading with me, you contact me at audreyallison.com. I'm also on Facebook at Audrey Allison Astrology and Tarot. Aries, here's what I have for you for January 2015. This is the Five of Cups. I pulled this first, and I want to say this was for Libra. I have such a good memory. Okay, the Five of Cups is a breakthrough, new possibilities. It's a new card, so I'm feeling the new moon about this. But do you see how oh, thank you. Okay, so I just heard something. This is so crazy. But I just heard they're going their separate ways. Obviously, you could see the birds flying in different directions. But friends that you've had from the past that went separate ways on the new moon of the 11th, which is the day before the retrograde, are coming back into the picture. I'm also getting that just because you haven't heard from them in so long, doesn't mean they've been away from you. So someone could be watching you, like social media, checking up on you, but really not being in contact with you. But anyway, this is a breakthrough in that relationship. New possibilities here. You might reconnect. Well, you will reconnect because the cup cards are communication cards anyway. Hello? Did I say the Queen of Cups or the Lady of Cups? I think I just did, but I channel so much I don't even remember what I just said in 5 minutes, and then sometimes it'll just come back to me really quick. But this is psychic ability. This is the 12th house of intuition. She's standing on the water. Water is an emotional intuition, intuitive force. Salt water is good for you, Aries. Salt baths. Don't get crazy with this smelling salts or whatever the hell's going on out there in the world, but you know what I mean, just like the natural elements of the ocean. You're very intuitive. Your 12th house also. I mean, come on, that's what's up. Venus is in your 12th house as well as Mars. Okay. Temperance, patience, balance, beauty, and timing. And it's also the sign of Sagittarius, which isn't activated at all. We're getting out of that realm in December. But I want to say for those of you Arians who are connected to a Sagittarius in your life, you have to be very patient with them. And all in due time will be revealed with them. And the 5 of Wands, a creative endeavor, creative ability, skill, what you create through your hands, writers, construction workers, but artists, sculptors, sewers, fashion designers. Things are people that use their hands to create. Just give me 1 second. I want to do a summation of these together. I know this is about connection, but okay. You, Aries, you might hear from a Sagittarius from your past because I think you intuitively know who it is I'm talking about already, because it's obviously going to make more sense to you than it is to me, because I'm an interpreter. I'm a medium. I'm a clairvoyant, and I'm here to give information that I hear and to give a summation of how the best I can, but this is obviously going to make more sense to you. And what I think they're trying to say is, for those of you who have lost touch with a Sagittarius in your life, you could hear, intuitively that you got away from, or this went separate ways. You could hear back from them. But also, you need to focus. This is the outcome card. So you need to focus on, your own path, your own goals. What did you want to manifest? What did you want to create before you broke free? I think this is about a timeline, I'm going to interpret this another way, too. Someone could write to you with this card, literally either old school letter, not that it's going to be delivered in the form of a carrier pigeon in its talon, but someone could write you an email or a letter from the past that you got away from, and they're getting back in touch with you. I really think that this is a spectacular month for reconnection, but also new connection. A new Sagittarius could come in your way. And the reason I'm focused on Sag so much is because this card in the Tarot, in the Major Arcana, is Sagittarius's card. Now, it could be a fire sign, but you are a fire sign as well, Aries. But other cards would kind of come up for that. Leo would be the Strength card. There's just, I really feel like you need also a patience and to give people time. Because not everything, I know you want, Aries, you are impatient. You want everything yesterday. You got to be patient with people a little bit, because things are happening for you. And if you are waiting for a creative endeavor to come through and manifest, give it a little bit more time. In fact, give it 5 weeks. See how this, or maybe not 5 years. I think that's too far out. I'm not giving readings for like 10 years from now. I think that you need to just give this a little bit of time and be patient, and also trust your intuition this month, because it's very much activated with Mars conjunct Venus in the 12th house. Thanks so much, Aries. My name is Audrey Alison, and if you'd like to read with me, I'm at audreyallison.com. Have a sweet month, and I will see you in February.